When we went there, it was so soon after the Korean War that it was like, this is a definite third world country.
And there was a lot to get used to. But I think when you're a kid, you're very adaptable. You know, it's like, okay, this is what's happening now. It's, you know, let's just go with it. Down below us was the fence for the post, and beyond that were all the rice paddies. And we used to go down, climb underneath the fence, and ice skate on the rice paddies in the winter and play with the Korean kids. And basically, we had a lot of contact with Koreans.
We played with Korean kids to the tops. There were no American kids to play with. So the servants would go out and get 10 of the well-mannered Korean kids and bring them in, and we'd play whatever, because there were no toys.
Even my mom was even worried about myself not knowing enough English to get into the American schools and that sort of thing, because I'd be around the mom-sans most of the day, almost 24/7 sometimes, you know, eating the rice and learning. I mean, I spoke mainly Korean, you know, not enough English, so they were worried about that.
You know, when you're in the first grade, you're learning to read. And so I had a pretty good feel for the American alphabet, the English alphabet. I got over to Korea and realized that all the signs had Korean lettering on them, and I couldn't read anything. And it was like suddenly you were taking a step back. You know, you thought you were, you know, really a big thing. You know, you could read and write and do all these great things, and you get over there and suddenly realize that there are other languages in the world that English isn't going to help you with.
And there were no schools taught in English except the missionary school. So I approached them, and they were very happy to allow me to send the 3 older children who were school age to their school.
But we used to cover the hills in Korea and looking for old bullet heads and rounds that hadn't gone off, and just old war souvenirs, because it, you know, had never been cleaned up after the war.
A car came by and told me that I had better pick up the children. They were evacuating the school. When what had happened at a recess, Denny and Mike had gone up the hill behind the school.
And during recess, you're out there in the middle of the mountains, okay? So Denny and I, we found a foxhole, an old foxhole from the Korean War, and as we went into it, we found hand grenades that were in shaving cans, and there was old rusty ammo.
We found grenades and brought one back to the school, and of course, you never know if one of these are going to go off or not.
They had to bring the bomb squad out.
So they had to suspend school for several days while the military went in there and cleaned out the area, and they found something over 100 still live grenades. So very fortunately my children didn't set one off.
I got detention for it. But we learned to adjust and adapt and cling together and get around. Did pretty good.